Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Choked Out Radio. I am your host, Jim Wrestle. A lot to talk about in this ongoing season, and eventually we'll release these episodes. I have Vibes in the building.
In the building.
And Mahim Bey in the building.
How's it going, folks?
Great. So this episode stemmed from a text conversation we were having a few weeks ago, and we're going to make this a reality. As far as Hall of Fame snubs, right? The WWE Hall of Fame snubs, right? So as you guys know, I'm a very sports guy, right? So I relate it to baseball in the sense that I think it should be the following criteria, right? So of course there should be some sort of like retirement period, right? I don't like where you stop wrestling one day and the next year you get inducted in, right? So that's what I think, right? I also think that this is what I think should be like, the Hall of Fame is like the top, 0.5%, 1%, like the best ever, right? In every sport, right? So in the sport of pro wrestling or WWE sports entertainment, I think it should be based on this, right? On this criteria. Now obviously we could go back and forth, right? Work rate, psychology, gimmick, whether it's over or not, financially, whether it's you were over, your promos, and also your longevity, right? You can't base it on wins and losses because it's a predetermined sport, but championships, I don't know. It's predetermined. But I think, based off that criteria alone, at least it's a good starting point, right? So, and then you have the argument of the politics that are involved. But that's my 2 cents as far as a Hall of Fame. So, we'll start with you, Vibes. What are your thoughts on the criteria? It's very subjective of who gets inducted year in, year out. And we'll start with you.
Well, I think the problem is that there's one person making the decision.
Right.
I've heard on multiple different shows, especially, Bruce Pritchard, where they've thrown out names. Hey, what about this guy? Hey, what about that guy? And it gets shut down right away. If they had a problem with Vince, or Vince has some kind of internal beef with them, they're off the list for that year. Which I think is ridiculous because at the end of the day, these people busted their ass, put their bodies on the line for our entertainment, and they shouldn't be determined by one guy. I think that there should be a voting system, similar to how they used to do back in the day when there was a territory system. Everybody would meet and everybody would agree, okay, this guy's going to be the NWA champion. Okay, well then they should all meet, and this guy or this girl is going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame that year. I think it should be based on the criteria that you did mention, because then it gives it a more realistic feel. I also think that there actually needs to be a physical building for the Hall of Fame, because right now it's just an event every year that people stand up there for 45 minutes to an hour talking for their acceptance. So I think that there should be like a physical place where fans can travel to and visit, like the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, in Cooperstown.
Upstate New York. Yeah,
yep.
People go.
Cooperstown.
I'll give you an example. Derek Jeter retired, and they knew that he was eligible for the Hall of Fame after 5 years. The hotels were already booked 5 years in advance for people to go out there so they wouldn't miss his Hall of Fame
induction
ceremony. So I think it should be the same. I mean, nobody really retires in wrestling. They say they're retired, and the only way you really retire is if you're, injured or you're no longer with us. So we can't really go that way, but I think that there should be a waiting period. There should be certain criteria, because there's a lot of people in there that shouldn't be in there. And I know we're going to get into that. It's going to be controversial, but you know what? Controversy creates cash.
Yeah. Exactly. Do you think it should be? You brought up a great point. Should it be? In baseball they have the writers' vote, and that's all, and that's controversial in itself, right? Should it be a set of writers, or just a committee that's formed, or should it be fans voting in or a mixture? What do you think?
I think it should be a committee. Leave the fans out of it because fans are very biased, and as you can see how toxic some wrestling fans can be, leave them out. They don't get a say. Pay your ticket, go watch it, keep your mouth shut. That's it. It should be people within the industry. It should be legends. It should be past Hall of Famers, you know, that have a say. All right, who's gonna join us next? But it should be like a committee of about 10 people. And I'm not only talking about people within the WWE, I mean like industry.
Yeah.
You know, New Japan, AEW, TNA, they should all decide who goes in. The same way every territory decided who was going to be the NWA champion and who was going to travel to the territories back in the day. I think it should be the same way.
Yeah. Sosa? I know
Yeah, man.
Topic. What do you?
Yeah, no,
what we're proposing.
I totally agree, 100%. I feel that is, you know, in the Hall of Fame is such a prestigious class, and it should be treated that way. You know, if you look at other sporting events, you know, or sports, whatever, they have, you know, Hall of Fame ceremonies. They have a place that you can go to see all the Hall of Famers, their plaques or whatever. And in the WWE, I just feel like it's like something that I don't feel like it's really fully for the fans. It's more for the wrestler. And, you know, for example, you know, think of a few names that are in the Hall of Fame right now that, you know, like Vibes mentioned, that don't really deserve to be in there. But I think that's just like their way of saying thank you for what you've done for us. And here you go. Now you're linked to us for forever, you know, and you're in our Hall of Fame or whatever. I think if it was, you know, I agree with having a committee like that. You can vote who belongs to be in there. Same thing with you need to be eligible, you know, after a certain amount of years, because we've seen how they've inducted people that, you know, they were retired because of injuries and they felt as if they couldn't go no more. Then the following year they get inducted, and then now they're back in professional wrestling, and they're you know, they're yeah, you know, pretty much like Edge, you know, Edge, yeah. And yeah, it's kind of because the thing is, like, once you're in the Hall of Fame, you know, I feel as if when you return from retirement, you can do some. I mean, I don't think they'll book him in a way where he can ruin his legacy, but I mean, I don't know. It's just like now this dude is a Hall of Famer, so you kind of expect him to win all the time, maybe, or, you know, like, it's just I don't know. I guess viewing him in certain matches, like, you just don't expect him to lose. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just, it's kind of, it's they do their things their own way, which I understand, but I feel as if
not only that, it causes fans to turn on them, because look at all the backlash that Edge is getting on social media. When he came back last year, people went nuts. You know, he made his return. Cool. You're able to do it again. Now he's because
now
fast forward a year later,
he's in the main event, and you exactly. Expect, and now
people hate it.
Yeah, because now it's like you kind of expect him to be in that position no matter what. You know, he's not gonna be wrestling for mid-card titles or any of that. You know, you expect him to be in the main event scene moving forward, which, I mean, you know, all right, if he's able to pull it off, which I think he can, great, you know. But it's just a little weird seeing someone, because you don't see it in other sports where it's like, oh my gosh, you know, freaking, let's say Derek Jeter, you guys brought him up. Yeah. You know, let's say he returns and he's like batting 100, and freaking making errors on the field. You know what I mean? Like it's also a lot of pressure on Edge if you think about it, because he needs to perform on a high level no matter what. So I mean, it should be interesting, but yeah, I agree with you guys 100%. I think this needs to be done in a different way, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, like in baseball, I just refer to it because it's the easiest, right, to relate to. There's eligibility, right, 5 years, and there's a waiting period. Like, no, there's a time limit, right, 10 years, 15, whatever. Do you think they should have that as well? So let's say, all right, you retired 3 years, you're on the ballot for like 10 or 12, and if that time expires, you don't get voted in, you're done. Like, what do you
You're never getting in?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think it'll be
I don't think so.
that strict?
Yeah, I kind of think in baseball it's kind of ridiculous because there's a lot of guys that, you know, they deserve to be there.
Yeah.
And because some writer has a personal vendetta against them, the voter, you know, I'm not putting them in, like Barry Bonds.
And Albert Bell.
Now, yeah. You know, like Barry
Albert
Bonds,
Bell.
he'll never
that guy, short period, but he was one of the best statistically.
He was a beast. Yeah, that's true.
He'll never be in you know, on a ballot.
Right.
Or like Roger Clemens, he'll never be on a ballot just because, you know, the steroid era that MLB made millions of dollars off of,
right?
But now it's a problem,
Yeah.
you know. But so I don't think it's fair because there's you know, baseball and wrestling is a lot different. Like, you know, yeah, you can get injured from baseball, but you can also live a normal life. Like a lot of these wrestlers, man, like they die young, they're in wheelchairs, their body's broken, and they end up broke. The older ones. The newer ones are a little bit smarter with their money.
Yeah.
So, you know, the Hall of Fame benefits them because then, you know, they do signings and anything, like they get paid more money just because like they're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
You know, and more people will come out to see them because like, oh, Hall of Fame, yeah, you can get their autograph because it's worth something.
Yeah.
Or they got a figure dropping. Oh, I'm gonna go to every Target in the 10-mile radius and buy all their figures and jack them up the price and sell them on eBay just because they were in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't think that there should be like a 3 strikes and 3 votes and you're out rule for wrestling.
Wrestling, okay. All right, so let's get into the heart of it, right? So who do you think now has been snubbed recently, like over the past couple of years, I think, Vibes?
The model Rick Martel.
And why do you think he's not in yet? You think it's politics?
I don't know. I mean, they, according to Bruce Pritchard, stuff that I've heard, they've asked him multiple times and he's turned it down.
Oh, wow.
Like, I think they tried to put him in like 2 or 3 times. He turned it down. Macho Man, when he was alive, they asked him and he turned it down.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to go in with his father and his brother and they said no. And then unfortunately he passed away and, you know, we never got that one last glimpse of him on WWE TV. There's a lot of guys that like Scott Steiner, he turns it down. I think he should be in. But Rick Martel, man, he deserves it.
Yeah.
That guy had a amazing career, amazing matches, tag team, one of the best heels in the late 80s, early 90s with the model gimmick, spraying the arrogance in Jake's eyes and blinding him. They had a blindfold match at WrestleMania. You know, and then he left. He went to WCW, had amazing matches there with Booker T, won multiple singles titles, and then he just disappeared. You know, I think he should be in Demolition.
Yeah, that's my
definitely be in.
100%.
Yeah, mine too.
Tag team in the 80s.
But that again, that goes to they got beef with Vince McMahon, and he pulled them from everything: video games, toys, T-shirts, everything. Which I think is BS because like we should be celebrating these guys.
Right.
Demolition, one of the best, greatest tag teams in the history of WWE. And now, you know, because of beef with one man, they're not in.
Yeah. It all comes down to politics, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously we have Owen Hart. Yeah. You know, Owen Hart, who has like he was the things that he did in the ring was like way before anyone's time. You know what I mean? Like it was just like amazing what he did, and everyone loved him. He won multiple titles, you know, tag titles, intercontinental championships, and just what he brought to the business, you know. I would say him. I want to throw in Tommy Dreamer, but he's still an active wrestler. Right. But we're not talking about like who is the future. I guess we're talking about snubs, whatever. But yeah, I want to say, yeah, Demolition. The Steiner brothers, I think they should go in as a tag team. I don't think Scott Steiner should go in on his own because, even though he had a good run in WCW, it was in such a short period of time. But yeah, Steiner brothers, I would say, pretty much like Ralphie Vibes just mentioned, like pretty much everyone that was on my list. I'm trying to think of like any others that I can think of.
Off air, the Sid. Yeah, Psycho Sid.
Oh yes, Psycho Sid. Absolutely, Psycho Sid. Bam Bam Bigelow. Yeah. I think he's way overdue. You know,
he was supposed to go in when Mania was in New York.
New York in 29.
2 years ago, 29. He was supposed to go in, and no. The recent one.
35. Sorry.
He was supposed to go in the Hall of Fame, and they last minute they changed their mind. Like they told his family, "Oh, we're inducting him," and then they changed their mind last minute.
Damn.
So I don't know. I don't know what happened with that, but he definitely deserves to be in there.
Yeah, I mean, he the things that he did in the ring as a big man, bro, like it was stuff that we never saw before, you know. And
had moonsault.
Yeah, and I mean, think about it. Like I remember that huge push he got when he became a face, and he had the flames, the jacket with the flames,
right? 95.
Yeah, and he was even I think he tag teamed with Hulk Hogan at one point. I believe, but like just for a couple nights or whatever. But yeah, they were giving him a huge push, and then when he left and went to ECW, he totally dominated in ECW and had amazing matches with RVD, with Taz, like Spike Dudley. Like I mean, he's in all the highlights that you see in ECW. That lasts forever. He's in a few of them. Bam Bam. And then, when he went over to WCW, I just recently saw a video of when he made his debut, which was pretty dope because it's not something you see often. He came in from like, you just see a car pull up. He comes out. He goes in. He's backstage looking for Goldberg and shit. Then all of a sudden he gets in the ring. Destroys these two guys going up against each other in the ring, and it was like an awesome debut. And then they just put him in that hardcore division, and then he was in the Jersey Triad with DDP and Canyon, which was pretty cool. But yeah, I would say in my list I would have Psycho Sid, Bam Bam Bigelow. I would also have like Vibes mentioned, Demolition, because Demolition, the gimmick, bro, in itself, like that was something that I cannot forget. You know what I mean? Like the look that they had in the music.
Their song is iconic.
It was.
I'm watching them right now. Demolition versus Haku and Andre.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What about Vader? Vader.
Oh my gosh. I thought he was inducted last year. He wasn't, right?
Hold on, I'll tell you right now. I don't think Vader went in. He was supposed to go. He was campaigning to go in before he died.
Yeah,
because he knew he was gonna die.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
The doctors told him
You have like
that,
50, whatever it is, right? Whatever.
yeah, he didn't have much time left because of his heart. And no, they never put him in.
That's another guy, right? For a big guy with the Vader salt.
Oh yeah.
So WCW and in Japan, Vader was the man.
Yeah.
But when he came to WWE, I don't know, man. I didn't like what they did with him. I know he had like a lot of issues.
Colbert. That was weird.
Yeah, he had like a lot of issues, backstage issues with a lot of people.
I remember that at SummerSlam. It was a great match, SummerSlam '96.
Yeah, he mistimed the move, and Shawn kicked him in the head and went off on him during the match. Like,
I felt he decided he should have had one world title run at that time.
He was supposed to.
Yeah,
he was supposed to win the title, and then they changed their mind because of the mess up with Shawn.
But
yeah, he was campaigning. His family was campaigning, and he was also to get in. And sadly, he passed away before.
When we think of Hall of Fame snubs, right? I feel like we have to break it down to each era. Like think of the 80s, because these are different eras that happened. Right. Yeah, 80s, you got 90s, the 2000s, and I mean, I just think that, let's talk about Triple H. He's active. I mean, he's pretty much semi-retired, I guess, or he's part-time. But I mean, I feel like he's long overdue. Even though
he's in with DX.
Yeah, but I think that he should get inducted, just him on his own, by all his accomplishments. I think he's on the same category as Vince McMahon. You know what I'm saying? I feel as if they're gonna wait until, God forbid, the day that he passes, that they'll induct him after he passes away. Or Vince is probably his decision. Like, hey, I don't want to be inducted. It's not about me. It's about the boys. Maybe that's his mentality. But I mean, Vince McMahon, bro, like, he's gonna be in it.
Yeah.
I don't like that they induct people multiple times.
Yeah, I don't like.
I think like if you're in, that's it. Like you're in for your body of work. Just induct like the Four Horsemen. They should have just been inducted individually. DX, just induct them individually. Because you got like
I don't agree with that.
Kevin Nash is in twice. Shawn Michaels is in twice.
Everyone from the Clique
Hart's in twice.
Everyone from the Clique is in twice, yo.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like why? And then it's like, oh, I'm gonna induct you as Diesel, and you're gonna get inducted as Kevin Nash. It's stupid. It's the same person playing the character.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. Like,
in my opinion, they should have it under different categories. They should have, and whenever the day comes when they open up a museum, let's say a WWE Hall of Fame museum or whatever, they should have it in categories where, you have the people that have been inducted, individually. They should have like a faction section, like where you have NWO, or Horsemen, DX. Because like for example, Evolution, right? Evolution is going to get inducted. I'm telling you right now. And then that's going to
have 3 rings.
Flair's going to have 3 rings. Batista's going to have 2. Orton is going to have 2. Triple H.
Oh no, Batista pulled out.
No, yeah, but I think he's going to eventually,
faction or in the right.
I think I think he's going to get inducted, as an individual, but Evolution, I think somewhere down the road, they're going to eventually, maybe in a few years, they're going to induct them as a faction, I think they're just waiting for Orton to retire.
I'll put it this way, right? If a baseball player plays on 5 different teams, he's not going to get inducted for every team. He gets inducted with a team of his choice.
Yeah.
He signs a 1-day deal with the team so that he can retire under that team and get inducted in under that team.
Yeah.
That's it. No matter how many, you could have had a semi-good career on the Mets, and then you went to LA and you were the man.
Right.
You're not going to get inducted for both. I think it should be the same way. I don't think that these guys should have multiple inductions.
I mean, the same argument could be said about tag teams, because, for example, let's talk about the Hart Foundation.
Right.
The Hart Foundation as a team was amazing, but if you separate both individuals, the only one that had a great singles career was Bret Hart. So
that's why
you can't ignore the tag team, and that's the thing.
But it's all part of the same body of work. It's the same person. That's why you induct them individually, and then you highlight their accomplishments as a tag team.
Yeah, but
all right, you're going in single, and then we're gonna put you both in as a tag team.
Yeah. I mean, I guess also if you think about it, is, in professional wrestling, it's pretty much like they give you the ball and you run with it.
Yeah.
And it's like what you make out of it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we all know it's scripted and stuff. And, they put you in certain positions. And if you can excel in that position, whether if it's a tag team, a faction, or individually, they're gonna want to, pretty much award you for that, and think of all the factions that have existed, or all the tag teams. Pretty much like for example, let's say what's another tag team? Let's
pick an oldie for example.
Or the Rockers, right? The Rockers, right? The Rockers, I don't feel like are going to be inducted, even though that was like my favorite tag team growing up,
right.
And they if Vince wanted to, he can do it, but there, obviously the one that came out of there with an amazing career was Shawn Michaels. Yeah. So I don't see, the Rockers being inducted, even though that was a great tag team, but you have to award them for that, I think I don't remember if they spoke about, Shawn Michaels, really early on, with the Rockers. Maybe they did, during his introduction to the Hall of Fame. But I mean, they do acknowledge it. They do bring it up, hey, yeah, this person was part of this tag team. Then he branched off to be a singles competitor, and this is what he accomplished. They do acknowledge it, but I mean, it's a good point that you're bringing up, but I don't see the what faction was this? I don't see the oddities going in. I don't see you have to award. Yeah, and think about the factions that went in already. There was only 3, right? The 4 Horsemen, NWO, and DX. Right. Those 3 factions alone they're part of pop culture. Right. They're part of pop culture, bro. NWO, people who aren't even wrestling fans know about DX and NWO. Everyone that throws this up, they already know what that means. Everyone knows what this means. So I feel like they wanted to acknowledge that and be like, you know what, we're going to put these guys in as a faction because it's so synonymous and professional. That name alone, 4 Horsemen or DX or NWO, everyone knows. People from all eras in professional wrestling, fans from all eras, they know what those, what those factions represent. But I don't feel like they're going to do that with every faction. I don't think because right now in professional wrestling, factions don't really exist in the WWE, but
not in AEW.
I know, that's why I said not in WWE.
The whole roster's a faction,
I mean, look. Oh,
no,
I mean,
all right. So,
question. Wait, quick question. Do you guys think that Nation of Domination should be inducted as a faction?
You're breaking up.
Oh, sorry. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I heard you. NLD. NLD. Yeah.
Nation of Domination.
Which
Nation?
The original version? Or
they
like
should be in. I mean, if they're gonna continue to induct factions, they need to be in because that was the starting point for a lot of good careers. Like The Godfather started from there. D'Lo Brown, The Rock,
Farouk.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, not the one with the
PG-13.
PG-13. Yeah, and what was it? Clarence Mason. Clarence Mason.
Yeah, the attorney.
So here's my thing, right? Like Texas Tornado had a dope. It was short, but he had a pretty dope career in WWE. But he didn't get inducted by himself. He got inducted as the Von Erichs. So I think it's like, they do whatever they want. It's just like, I don't really want to do this, but all right, well, let's put them in together. And it's just nobody asked me again. Same thing with China. China deserved to be in by herself, but she went in with DX.
I think they're very particular on who they want to induct because, I mean, those two people you mentioned, like they had a controversial background, like the way they both passed away, and just China in general, like she had, when she left WWE, she suffered from depression and, she got involved in the porn industry. Yeah. And, it's not something you really want to, because I think right now what their frame of thinking is like, all right, we're going to announce these names. And what's the first thing kids are going to do is Google them. First thing they're going to do is like, I'm not too familiar with this guy or this female wrestler. Let me just Google them. And you're going to see all this stuff pop up, with Texas Tornado. I mean, he was part of, it's like one of the top wrestling families ever, So I think it was just right. Like, the same thing with Terry Funk. Terry Funk he should go in on his own.
Absolutely.
And he went in with his brother Dory.
Yeah.
So I think they're just, I don't know, like it's tricky, but I think they're very particular on how they induct people and for what reasons, and it's pretty tricky, man.
Yeah, so in other sports, right, just to compare to other sports, they also induct sometimes, broadcasters or, things of that nature. Do you think they should, like, expand it to, like, the broadcasters or some behind-the-scenes guys? Or I think they started to do that now, but do you think they should induct, like, I know Bobby Heenan is
JR and the King.
Or, like, JR.
Heenan's in. Mean Gene, I think, is in. Is Mean Gene in?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mean Gene's in.
Yeah, he's in. I think Lord Alfred Hayes went in, but he went in under the legacy wing.
Right.
Sean Mooney should be in.
Absolutely, Sean Mooney. Todd Pettingill from the 90s should be in.
But then that's the thing, like, these people deserve to be in, but then they have people like Snoop Dogg is in.
Yeah.
Like, why?
See, like that's what I mean. Like they should have different wings.
Right.
Like you have the celebrity wing. You have broadcasters. Even referees, man. Like we know
Earl Hebner had the Hebner brother.
But I don't think
that's never gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen, unfortunately.
Right.
They should definitely have
Yoda for sure.
Oh,
Mike
Yoda. Yeah. They and just other I think someone mentioned that actually. I forgot who it was, that they mentioned that they should induct people that do
behind the scenes,
people that do stuff backstage. Warrior
that was Warrior.
That they should induct the people, like you don't have to have a whole freaking speech about them, whatever, but they can have been a part of that company for over 30 years.
Right.
And they're just you know, they do backstage work. They're writers or they're part of the production crew.
Jim Johnson should be inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, Kevin Owens recently posted on Twitter just a quick thing. Like he just said pretty much like a quick video pretty much thanking everyone that does the work and backstage, you know, the production crew, the freaking pyro, all that stuff. Because, you know, he said it, if it's not for them, if it wasn't for them, you know, the show will freaking, like, it won't happen pretty much. So, I mean, I don't know, man. You know, you can't have a freaking 6-hour ceremony on TV.
Yeah, you can't have it.
But they can definitely acknowledge those guys, you know? And again, I like Vibes mentioned, if you have a freaking place that you can go to,
physical space,
that's not a website, but a physical building that you can walk into and actually like see all the plaques and all the freaking memorabilia and stuff like that. Because fans right now, you have to wait until access to see stuff like this, you know. Mm-hmm. And if there was an actual, you know, they build these what is it, the statues, right? That could be in the Hall of Fame freaking museum, you know. And if they do build one, they should build it here in New York. I don't care what anybody says, man.
They gotta build it in
Orlando, man.
Florida, unfortunately.
It's gonna be in Orlando.
So whack.
So comparing it to
like they're home away from home.
Yeah.
So comparing it to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they induct songs, right? Do you think they should induct matches in itself, or what do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
That's a good question.
Yeah, right. It's a good one.
Nah, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. Well, I don't think so.
I didn't even think about that.
Because I don't know, man. Honestly,
I think they should. I mean, not every match, but I think there's certain matches that could go in on its own. Like Rock Hogan could go in on its own, or one of the Triple H Austin matches on its own. I don't know. I think it deserves it. I don't know. To me, to highlight it. I mean, the first
ever WrestleMania main event should go in.
Yeah.
But then, you know, that's more people with multiple rings.
I mean, thinking off the top of my head, you know, Steamboat and Savage. I don't think they should get a ring. They should get a plaque.
Or plaque. It doesn't have to be a ring.
Yeah, I think it should be like left, like, you know, same thing. If you have a museum, maybe have a separate just a area that you can go in and see, you know, which matches, you know, they put in or whatever. But I don't see them doing that in the Hall of Fame. I don't see that. I don't see matches getting its own Hall of Fame plaque per se, you know, because there's just so many matches.
It's a good idea.
It's a great idea, but it's just like so many matches.
I know.
But I mean, that's actually a really good question, man. I'm not gonna front. That would be kind of dope. That would be kind of dope.
Definitely Taker Shawn, right? The first one in WrestleMania 25, or even Bad Blood.
The
Iron Man match.
Or Iron Man match, right?
Iron Man match. You got TLC, the first TLC with the Hardys, Dudleys, and Edge and Christian.
Yeah. A lot of matches could get inducted, right?
Yeah. Oh, speaking of wrestlers that are long overdue, it's Christian.
Yes, absolutely.
Christian, man.
He outworks everyone, according to the shirt.
Yeah.
What about Earthquake and Typhoon?
Bro, I don't know why I keep thinking that Earthquake is in it. Like I constantly think about that. And I saw somebody post online saying like Tugboat should go in. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, Tugboat? I'm like, you know what? What about the natural disasters?
Man.
But then I'm thinking like, oh, you know, Earthquake is already in. But if Earthquake is not in, I mean, he definitely should be in. Yeah. Or at least induct the natural disasters, you know?
Yeah. Right. Who do you think is in now? It doesn't deserve to be in. This is a hot topic.
Doesn't deserve to be in?
Yeah.
Bro, the Bella Twins?
Definitely not.
Let me see. Snoop Dogg?
Definitely not. 45 should not be. Former president should not be.
45, Tori Wilson, Kid Rock.
Kid Rock. Why?
I'm going through the list, yo.
What about Coco Beware? I
see.
don't think he was good. I think he was.
That's controversial, man. I'm gonna.
Yeah. It's a little hot. I like the gimmick, but is it Hall of Fame worthy? I don't know.
I don't. Deborah shouldn't be in.
Yes, Deborah, no.
Rikishi, not yet.
Not yet.
Because his ass went in people's faces. He goes to the Hall of Fame, like.
Yeah.
Let me see who else. This is gonna be
bro.
Oh,
say the name.
Drew Carey. Drew Carey.
No.
He doesn't deserve to be in. Coco Beware. Nah, he doesn't deserve to be in.
Right.
At least not now. Not before. Like he went in before Macho Man, bro. Like how?
Right.
Yeah, man.
What do you think? Sosa, what do you think?
I mean, you can't really go by, championships because look at Roddy Piper, look at
P. Rose.
You have Jake the Snake, you have Hacksaw Jim Duggan. These guys weren't world champions, Yeah. They I don't even think they won tag titles, but they're in it because I feel like
after they were Hall of Fame, they won belts.
Yeah, they did. But but I feel like they should be in it no matter what. I honestly, you know what I think? I think they think of gimmicks.
Yeah.
They think of like iconic gimmicks. And if that's the case, then induct Doink.
Yeah.
If that's how they go by, induct Doink the Clown. Probably the best gimmick of all time, Duke the Dumpster Drozy.
The garbage man.
Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding on that one.
The Goon.
What about Abe Knuckleball Schwartz?
Yo. Let me tell you, man. You know who's long overdue thinking of gimmicks?
Gobbledygooker.
Nah, hell no. Yo, freaking the Brooklyn Brawler, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yo, this guy.
Wait, didn't he go in?
Is he in it? He's part of the legacy. If he's part meanwhile, I'll be upset because he should have his own like induction, bro.
Is he in?
I thought he went in.
I don't know.
No.
What about Barry Horowitz?
Barry Horowitz should go in. They should have a wing for the jobbers, yo. The jobber wing.
Jobber wing, right? Iron Mike Sharp should go in. Remember that guy?
Barry Horowitz, yo. Pat yourself on the back.
Yeah. Yo, his shirt was so cool, man. He had the handprint right here.
Yeah.
Yo, Great
Bubba Ray and Devon's father is in. James Dudley.
Who? That's not their father.
James Dudley, yo. It's their father.
No.
Papa Dudley.
Oh man.
It probably doesn't deserve to be in it.
Nah. But speaking of people that shouldn't be in it, I know we were talking, on the side about it, but yo, the Great Khali, man. Great Khali is I get why they're doing it, but I just don't understand. I can't, like, thinking of all these other guys that we're speaking of that have been snubs, and just to think that Bella Twins and Great Khali are getting in before these other freaking performers that have been doing what they're doing for over 20 years, or they performed for all these years and put their bodies on the line, had some great matches, awesome gimmicks, and because of politics, they're not in it. But then you have Great Khali, who
nothing.
Think of a great match he had.
Nothing.
This is what he does.
Punjabi prison match. And that match was terrible.
All right, so that he introduced that match, right?
Right.
That's it. That's it. Yo, if Khali's in it, then you have to induct Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal is first ballot.
No, but he's a world champion, yo. He was one of the greatest heel champions, yo.
That's what I'm saying. Jinder Mahal did more.
Yeah.
The
with
Maharaja.
that title than Great Khali.
Exactly.
So I'm expecting Jinder Mahal to be in it. You know.
So here's my beef right now, right? How, and I'm gonna curse. How the fuck are the Bella twins in, but Miss Elizabeth is not?
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. And again, it's because I feel as if they think of the kids, you know, they're thinking of the kids that aren't really familiar with them.
Nah,
And
because you know
they're
what?
gonna go
Because
on, they're gonna Google it and see that she
Mae
passed away
Young,
from a drug overdose.
the Fabulous Moolah was a she was what was it? She was like a brothel owner, yo, and she's in.
Right.
Used to beat and take the money from these girls, and she's in.
Right.
But is that a proven fact though?
It
Or
is.
was she like it's just a rumor?
I mean, there's a lot of
Rumor-
people that say the same thing.
Rumor in the window is
Yes, rumor and innuendo.
Conrad Thompson.
Like Antonio Inoki is in, but what did he do in WWE?
yeah, he's being rewarded for his stuff in Japan. You know, I'm talking about.
Ah, man,
Yeah.
it's bullshit.
Yeah, for that, if you induct him, induct the freaking Great Muda and those guys, right? You know, those.
Well, Liger's going in this year.
Who?
Yeah.
Oh, Liger.
Oh, like I guess. Okay, right.
Yeah. But
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And I think it was just like currently they had this deal with India. And I think that was part of the deal, to be honest with you. I think that was part of the deal. You know, like
show, right? Bella's with the Total Bella show, right? Just
yeah.
honestly, man, like those they're overrated, though. They couldn't wrestle. They're just terrible. I'm sorry. I know there's like the Bella Twin Army. Yo, y'all corny. You're whack. You don't deserve. Like nobody wants to see you come back. Nobody cares. Like you wrestled, cool. Go.
They
Right off
they
into the sunset.
they improved though later on in their career. They improved,
Nah,
I'm gonna
man,
say.
but-
Like in the ring, they
once,
improved.
but once people like Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, and Bailey showed up, you saw that they were trash.
They were exposed.
They couldn't hang. They couldn't hang. They couldn't hang. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They don't deserve. They don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
It's that whole thing about the eras, man. You know, like during the Bella Twins era, they were the top females in the company.
Yeah.
You know,
Brutus,
they were the top
Brutus
females.
the Barber Beefcake is in. Why? What did he ever do?
The gimmick, man. It's the gimmick.
I'm sorry, man.
I think
Is
it's
Jimmy
the
Hart?
gimmick.
Is Jimmy Hart in?
Yeah,
He's in, right? He has to be in.
He's in.
yeah. I mean,
And,
I
like
think
going back to what you said earlier about Owen Hart, the only reason that he's not in is because of his wife.
yeah.
But I have a feeling like there's no figures of him, there's nothing because the wife wants nothing to do with WWE. But apparently she has like some kind of working relationship with AEW and Pro Wrestling Tees. So they release shirts, they released like little mini figures of his.
Uh-huh.
And I think sometime next year they're gonna release an actual Owen Hart like figure with the AEW line. I think.
Oh wow!
I have a feeling.
That'll
That's
be
just-
kind of weird. That'll be weird.
It would be.
Well, that's what they do, bro. That's what AEW does. They just
That'll be
They're like
weird
leeches.
because this man never
Right.
and
never
you know
wrestled
what'll be
for that
even
company.
weirder? You know what'll be even weirder if they induct him into their Hall of Fame if they ever have one.
I don't know, bro.
But you know, you got.
I
you
think-
can't say
I
anything
think-
negative about
No,
AEW. They get mad.
I think they'll catch a lot of heat. I think they'll catch a lot of heat.
They're worse than Beyonce fans, bro.
What is it? The Beehive? What do they call themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You want
But, I mean-
controversy right now? I got some controversy. Larry Zbyszko does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
What? What are you talking about,
Does
bro?
He doesn't deserve
I
it.
think he deserves it. I think he deserves it.
Man. What did he ever do that was like special? Be honest. What did he ever do that was special?
Well,
That's it.
he pushed my phone.
Yeah.
He pushed your phone, yo.
Yo, how about this year?
See, nobody can say anything memorable that he ever did.
Listen, he had a great career before I started watching wrestling. So I need to do some research on that one. But this year, are they doing the Warriors Award?
They haven't said anything yet. But,
they haven't said anything, right?
They're campaigning for JT for crime. Yeah, this guy from Crime Time.
Shad, because yeah, the Hero Award or Warriors Award. Yeah, I don't know. It's and are they gonna do this 2 nights or 1 night?
1 night.
Hall of Fame is 1 night.
Everybody inducted in 1 night. They already like pre-recorded, so it's gonna be like short. I'm just glad the Bulldog's in, man. He deserves it.
Absolutely. If it wasn't for his demons, he'd be world champ, you know.
Yeah,
he would still be here with us if it wasn't for his demons.
Right.
You know, but he got injured in a match in WCW or WWE. Was it WWE? It was WCW. He got slammed like on a trap door. No, it was WCW.
WCW when the Warrior was there. The Warrior.
Yeah.
Yep, body slam the trap door.
So
yo, Rick Rude is in? Is Rick Rude in?
Rick Rude's in. Yeah, he's in.
All right, good.
He went in
after he died.
Let's see.
That I remember.
He went in 2013, I think.
Oh wow! All right.
Wait, no, 2013. No, he went in.
I remember him going in like not recently, but like this decade that passed. 2010, 2011, like I don't know.
You know, in 2017.
And just
2017, he went in.
And real quick, also, I don't know if you guys remember, like before, you know, they've been inducting wrestlers in the Hall of Fame for many years now, and it's not until I would say the past decade that it just became like a big thing. You know, like during WrestleMania weekend, and I guess like we, you know, like everything in professional wrestling, you know, fans expect it to be a certain way, and they'll end up criticizing it if they don't like the way it's being broadcasted or the way it's being done.
Complain about everything.
Yeah, you know, because you know before then they inducted a lot of wrestlers, but they didn't have a giant ceremony with fans.
Yeah, which was in a hotel.
You know?
It was like a marquee and that's it.
Yeah, it was like a dinner and they got a plaque.
Yeah.
The first ever inductee was Andre the Giant in 93. Mm-hmm. And then they did a ceremony in 94. And then again in 95. And then in 96. And that was it. They stopped until 2004.
Yeah.
And when they did the 2004 class, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was 11 people inducted.
Wow.
In 2004, and then that's when it just took off. That's when they started doing a ceremony.
Oh, so it wasn't. Yeah, you're right. I said it was in the past decade, but yeah, it was way before that. You're right.
Yeah, and then 2005, like they inducted everyone except for Mr. T that was in the main event of WrestleMania 1. 2005 had a pretty good class. Hogan, Piper, Orton, Jimmy Hart, Paul Orndorff, Nikolai Volkov, and Iron Sheik. That was pretty dope class.
But it was a much smaller ceremony compared to having it in arenas, right?
Yeah.
So
that's when they started inducting like 7 to 8 people at a time.
Yeah.
Like fast forward 2006, like Bret Hart shouldn't have went in yet.
Right.
It was still too soon for him.
Right.
You know, Eddie Guerrero, it was still too soon for him. I know he had just passed away the year before, but like, I think it was too soon.
Right.
Yeah. Like I said, it's all about politics, man.
Yeah. So we'll close out with definitely should have a physical space, right? A physical Hall of Fame, and definitely at least have some sort of criteria, right? No matter, and right, for sure. That's what I think we should, for sure. That's my opinion, right? And I think we'll agree on that. Any closing comments, Vibes?
We need a physical building so we can go. You can visit, bring the kids, put it in Orlando, right around where Disney is.
Yep.
Make it like an attraction to go. Every it's like a vacation spot. People will go the same way people go to Cooperstown. People will go to Orlando. Especially like us, the marks that have kids.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you want to go to Disney? Cool. I'm going to WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
We'll go to Disney tomorrow. You can make like a family thing. Like, when we go to Access and we tour through, just seeing like the outfits that people wore, the titles that they carried, Andre's boots, like you get blown away, and it's like just seeing that stuff in person, put it in a place that people can actually visit. And spend money, charge them to go, and then have like people there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this week we'll have Hulk Hogan there. Well, people will go crazy if he's there because it's controversy. But we'll have like I don't know, Brutus the Barber Beefcake or whoever.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
that's
just have sign. Yeah.
So what do you think? Close us out. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Have a physical building, or a museum where, fans can go in and see all the Hall of Famers, their plaques. Also, if WWE can have like a Hall of Fame committee, you can have, members from each era, or, people that are very well respected in the business, and they can come up with a list of possible Hall of Famers. And it's just just for them to be more considerate of the fans, because the fans aren't stupid. The fans aren't fans now. With the internet and the network, they become freaking, they study. It's like they study WWE, and I think they need to understand that. And you cannot induct guys like Great Khali without getting criticism over it. So just be more considerate of the fans, because the fans now they study this business like if it's a freaking class in college, but yeah, man, just be more considerate of the fans, especially when fans are, I don't think it's going to happen this year, but you expect fans to pay their hard-earned money to go attend these ceremonies. And you can't just be inducting anybody because you like that person, or you have a deal with someone, so it's like, yeah, let me just induct them because it'll make that person happy, but yeah, that's my opinion.
All right, I agree with you 100%. Just to wrap it up, yes, for sure, committee, and for sure a physical space that we could all see, and I'd pick Orlando. So, all right. So on that note, Vibes, thank you. Sosa, thank you. This is Jim Wrestle.
Thank you.
Signing out. Thank you. Take care.